So if you go for the wall breakers, you can bait out the log, and then the miner will tank for the rest of the wall breakers. So you can see we go like this. They go for the log, thinking that it's going to counter, and it's not. And we end up taking their entire tower because of that. So that's a really good play you can do. Add that one to your playbook. What's up, everyone? It's Turkey here, and today we're going to be rocking with one of the most skillful decks in the game, Miner Poison Control. And I know a lot of people like to hate on this deck, but it takes a lot of skill to play this deck well, especially at top ladder. So if you're someone that likes to challenge yourself and try new things, I absolutely encourage you to try this deck. And I can genuinely say if you play this deck correctly, you genuinely have no bad matchups. And we've seen that over the last few seasons with Muhammad Light finishing somewhere in the top 5 with multiple accounts using Miner Poison Control. So I am really excited to show you gameplay with this deck. I want to hop into some games, but before I do that, I just want to say thank you to anyone watching this video, and I want to ask you to please consider subscribing to my channel. It's completely free for you, and it does help me a ton. So I appreciate the consideration, and let's get into some gameplay. All right, into our match here against Light Knight. Hopefully this isn't one of Muhammad Light's accounts. And in terms of a starting play, you can always just open up with a miner. Probably in the safe spot if you play it on the outside corner like this. It's not easy for them to activate their king tower with a tornado or anything like that. He spent 2 elixir on that bomber, so I'm going to go ahead and cycle my wall breakers in the opposite lane. Force out a log. Looks like it might be like Goblin Drill Cycle, possibly. Looks like it's going to be Hog Rider. And they drop a lot of elixir at the bridge, so I'm just going to chill and take the poison value here. And we shouldn't eat any damage at all. So it looks like it's going to be a weird off-meta Hog Rider deck, so we'll keep that in mind. Another good thing about this deck is you have a really quick cycle, so you can usually keep up with certain counters. I'm going to miner like this, and then it's going to tank for the Spear Goblins on the left side. That's a cool trick. Yeah, you can see he ignores the Spear Goblins, and they actually get a lot of damage, so that's really awesome for us. He goes for the mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to kite it back with wall breakers like this, and then have my bats on his bats. Perfect. Let's try. Woo! Okay. It works, it works. And we actually got a ton of damage in the opposite lane. I don't know if you noticed, we actually took 1/3 of their tower with those Spear Goblins, so that was definitely worth it. Bomb Berry Tower is also going to help out here. I want to try and force out a log. Maybe Spear Goblins will force them to panic log. Okay, I'm going to take a poison on the princess, and that Ice Golem really is not threatening. So here's a really good play that I like. Oh, hang on 1 second. We're going to take care of all this first. No princess in hand. We're going to go wall breakers. He can go for log, but then I think those bats might get on the tower because they're charged up. Awesome. So he just used his log, so we're going to go in with the miner here, and then we're going to immediately go for Spear Goblins. You can see he played the berry in the wrong lane. I'm going to log on the princess and the berry. And then last second bomb tower here is fine. He has the Evo bats as well, so I'm going to go for a Knight high. It'll kite them away. And then we're going to have to go for a wall breaker kite most likely as well. Low Spear Goblins. And then a log. Really good berry and princess, actually. He almost caught me there, to be honest, but we're super fine. So if you go for the wall breakers, you can bait out the log, and then the miner will tank for the rest of the wall breakers. So you can see we go like this. They go for the log, thinking that it's going to counter, and it's not. And we end up taking their entire tower because of that. So that's a really good play you can do. Add that one to your playbook. Poison here to just clean all this up. Log. And we're good. So that's a good first game, and we'll go ahead, take the dub, and we'll see you in the next one. Into our next match here against Black Scorpion. I think in terms of starting plays, any of your 2 or 3 elixir cards are fine. I think splitting wall breakers is the utmost best starting play. It almost always forces out a positive elixir trade. Like in that example there, you can see we forced out 5 elixir. Okay, I'm just going to go for a defensive miner here. And then this kind of looks like, I was going to say graveyard, but the log is kind of throwing me off, to be honest. Okay, we're going to eat a little bit of damage, but we're going to get our king tower activation, and I think it's worth it. Bats in the middle here to activate our king tower. Nice. And now, I don't know, it could be Hog Rider. The tornado's what's kind of throwing me off. Okay, it looks like it is going to be like miner control as well. We need to watch out for the Evo Firecracker. Make sure it doesn't get a lot of splash on our tower. And I'm going to cycle a Knight. You want to get to your Evolve Knight as quickly as possible. It's really, really powerful. Okay. And I'm going to go for my wall breakers, do the same play as last time, and try and get this firecracker off the board. Nice. He goes for the berry tower. That's fine. Nice. Knight. Going to take care of the berry tower. And interesting wall breakers. Not bad, just interesting. Spear Goblins at the bridge to pressure. We force out the log. I'm going to go like this because the berry tower is out of hand, I believe. So I think we're going to get a connection here. Yep. Oh! Damn, he spent so much there too. So we're going to continue to pressure. Again, knowing that his NATO is out of hand, I think we might actually take their whole tower here. Yeah, I'm just going to let it breathe because I'm pretty sure that's tower down. And that's what I'm talking about with this deck. If you track their cycle properly, you can make some insane punishes. I just want this firecracker off the board, so I'm going to take the poison. We have our bomb tower in hand if they choose to go for minor wall breakers or something like that. We also have our EVO Knight to match their EVO Knight. So there's really nothing that they can do here, honestly. Spear Goblins high, and then Bats low. And my boy is cooked. Minor here, maybe for the bomb tower, but at this point, the game's pretty much already over. Nice, yeah, they give up. No surprise there, to be completely honest. And you can see they were running a similar deck to us. We just kind of played a little bit better. So we're going to secure the 3 crown here, and I'll go ahead and catch you all in the next one. Go into our next matchup here against Ice Lizard. And I could go with a lot of things. I'm just going to split wall breakers. Like I said, best starting play. You can go for Spear Goblins if you don't have wall breakers in your hand. Cool. My man goes for the mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to go like this with my Spear Goblins. Going to clean everything up. Goes for the arrows. That's fine. We need to get a cycle our Knight. It's not a problem. And because he doesn't have arrows, I'm going to pressure with minor bats. Should be awkward for him to defend. Yeah, it is going to be awkward for him to defend. I'm going to take the poison on the Sparky. It's kind of awkward to defend Sparky, so I'm going to go like this. Get my bomb tower ready. I want my bomb tower to also splash on the Sparky as well as the tank that he plays in front of it, if that's possible. Okay, we're going to go for Spear Goblin surround, or Spear Goblin down low for the bats, and then Knight high for the Sparky, and then we're going to go for bats as well. Nice. One surviving bat there. And we're fine. No arrows in hand means it's a good time for go for wall breakers. You can maybe go for like a mini P.E.K.K.A. Oh, I don't think you got those down in time. Nope. Perfect. Perfect timing. In the future, we can go for pre-logs as well, now that we know that that's one of his counters for the wall breakers. So really good start. Just need to be careful, like I mentioned, with how we defend the Sparkies. Other than that, we're chilling. Minor here on the side. Gonna take the poison on the Sparky, like I mentioned. And we have our Evo Bats in hand, so that's gonna be really, really awesome. Kind of gonna rely on that for some cheap defense against the Sparky. Okay. Goes for that. I'm going to pre-go for bats. Perfect. Life is good. Life is good. Those bats are going to put in work, honestly. Yep. Take this poison here. Pressure in the opposite lane. No arrows. No problem. My boy just used his goblins. EVO Knight is tanking. We're going to go Spear Goblins on the other side. And my boy is in trouble. On both lanes. Crazy deck, man. Bang, bang. Double wall breaker connection, and that's tower down. Okay, all we need to do is survive for 27 more seconds. He's probably going to get desperate anyway. He does. Log's going to take care of that Sparky. And that's a good game. Sparky Goblin Giant, like I said, can be an intimidating matchup, but if you play well, you defend well, you pressure at the right times, you're golden. So GG's to our opponent, and we'll catch y'all. Nice. Into our next match here against Pizza Doge. And you see what I have in my starting hand, so we're going to go for it. They just cycled their skeletons. Goes for the arrows. You know what that means. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Maybe NATO. Goes for the firecracker. But those bats are going to go in on the tower. And we just take a third of their tower because they cycled their arrows. That's absolutely bonkers. Okay, I'm gonna get ready here. I could have poisoned that, but I'm fiending to get my King Tower activated. It looks like they're gonna give it to me for free as well. So, no complaints from your boy on that. Goes for the Naked Sparky. I don't know how I feel about that. He doesn't really have much to support it. Guess he has a Tornado to support it. Yeah, his deck's just too heavy, man. We're gonna go for bats. If they go for the arrows, we can go for low Spear Goblins. And they're not gonna go for arrows, and they might go for arrows here. If they do, we can go for Spear Gobs. Wow, 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 wow. What a deck, man. What a deck. Bomb tower like this is gonna pull over the E-Giant. And it's not looking too good for my boy. Weird deck. Weird deck for sure. We're not even into a double elixir yet, and I think this game's already over. So let's go ahead and try and force out some arrows or something. Maybe force them to give up. I don't know. There are the arrows. Now we can go in with minor bats. No arrows in hand. Yeah, I was going to say NATO. We'll take care of the bats. So yeah, this game's pretty much over. I'm going to go ahead and cut to the end, so we'll see you there. GG's. Alright, so into our next game against Beaver here. Alright. We got our wall breakers in our starting hand, so you know what we about to do. You could also run this deck with the evolved wall breakers, but I think the variant that I'm running now with the EVO Knight and the bats are a little better. If you do put in the EVO wall breakers, I'd recommend taking out the EVO bats. And that's very good as well. That's a very strong deck, honestly. Poison here on the Musk. And it looks like he might be running 2.6 Hog Rider cycle. If that's the case, we'll have a pretty reasonable matchup. Yeah, it looks like it is 2.6. In this matchup, you really want to watch out for the EVO Skeletons. That's what you kind of need to be careful of. Big spell is most likely Fireball. Sometimes people run 2.6 with an Earthquake. Then it's not 2.6, it's like 2.5, but that's the idea. My man just cycles a cannon. Makes sense. I'm going to cycle a log. And get ready here. I'm going to cycle a Knight because they played that Ice Golem. It's going to help me get to my EVO Knight. Going to be really, really helpful for defense and for offense. My man's cycling really quick. He's going to probably outcycle my building. Okay, I'm going to take this poison. Okay. And we do have our building in hand here, so that's good for us. Okay. I'm just going to cycle a miner. I mean, he's cycling the cannon. I can't really go in for wall breakers. Good Ice Spirit catch by them. We're still going to get some chip, though. And then, once again, I'm going to cycle my Knight. And then my next Knight will be evolved, so that's awesome. Expect him to go for, like, a Muskie here. So once that locks onto the Knight, we're going to go for our Spear Gobbies. Maybe it'll force out a spell. Awesome, it forces that out. Okay. Miner here. Log on the Muskie. And no damage taken, and we've already taken a third of their tower. So all of that chip damage really adds up, and that's the thing with this deck is like you're just chipping them down slowly, and it's probably really frustrating to be honest. I'm gonna go like this because my cycle's awkward. Fine with me. Okay, gonna cycle Spear Goblins behind this, and I'm gonna actually go for a minor log here, and then I'm gonna take a poison. Nice. Kind of awkward for him to defend, honestly. Yeah, Knight's going to get a bunch of chip on the tower, so that's really good for us. And you can see my man hasn't even touched our tower yet. Like, that's how crazy this deck is. Once that locks on... And my man is giving me poison value out the wazoo, to be completely honest. You can go for a Fireball here, but we're really fine. Yeah, we messed up the tower, but... We really only need like 2 more minor poisons and we're fine, so... Gonna miner like kind of off to the side like this. Get my poison down. On the EVO Skeletons, miners on the tower, and that's gonna be a good game against 2.6. They didn't really play it that well, but it's still a good matchup for us, so GG's to our opponent, and we'll catch you in the next one. Alright, into our next match here. This guy has Hog in his banner, might be another Hog matchup, we'll go ahead and see. Okay, Royal Giant first play, I'm gonna go like this. Spear Goblins on the opposite side to avoid giving too much spell value. Takes the log there. We're gonna, or the arrows. We're gonna get a well-timed log. Could have been timed better, honestly. It's all good. Cat's out of the bag. He's running RG arrows, which is kind of interesting to me. So no arrows in hand here. No archers in hand. So I feel like this might be a good push. Yeah, he goes for the NATO. We're going to go for Spear Goblins. And figure out the rest of his deck. Okay. Skeletons. Okay, so RG arrows, NATO. Interesting. Can't say I was expecting that variant at all. But I think that's better for us than a traditional Royal Giant or anything like that. We just got to survive single elixir, and then I think we'll be in good shape. Okay. Goes for that. I'm going to cycle my tank, and then immediately cycle my bomb tower. He doesn't... If his only big spell is arrows, it might be hard for him to break through a building. So we're going to do that. And then I am going to pressure with wall breakers because... Okay, once that locks on, I'm going to go for bats. And then Spear Goblins way in the corner. Just like away from everything. Perfect. Yeah, he's not breaking through with that. And that was perfect defense. Knife is good. Okay, we're going to go miner and then wall breakers here. And I think he'll struggle to stop this, honestly. Yeah, you can go skeletons. He's back to arrows. But if he's using arrows on defense, that is perfectly fine with me. Because then I get value out of my bats and then my Spear Goblins on defense. Okay. Just going to chill, reset here. Does not have the evolved Royal Giant in cycle, so that's really good for me. Just going to cycle my log here. Get ready. Spear Goblins in the corner. I expect him to go in with this, to be completely honest. Yeah, there it is. No surprise from me. Okay, I want to protect my Evo Bats, honestly. Good NATO by him, but he's not going to be able to break through. Okay, I'm going to wall breakers behind this because I think they'll connect on the tower. Nice, we force out the arrows once again. So what do we do now? We go for bats. We go for miner. The baby dragon is kind of an annoying card for us, to be completely honest. Gets a lot of value against our bats. The fact that he has arrows, and tornado, and baby dragon is interesting to me, but all good, all good. Okay, he goes in here, so we're going to go like this, actually. Perfect. And he goes for the arrows, but the damage is already done to the Royal Giant. Nice. Goes for the NATO. Cool, cool, cool. We're just going to chill. Spear Goblins like this. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Nice. He goes for the arrows on the bats, but what about the wall breakers, my guy? What about the wall breakers? Damage is done. The pressure is just non-stop with this deck. Those wall breakers are probably going to connect. He drops the skeletons, and that is going to be good game to our opponent. So yeah, RG, we just totally outplayed them. The important thing is to recognize the counters they have. So this guy had arrows, log, NATO, and just kind of, when they're out of cycle, just punish accordingly. So good game. We'll catch you in the next one. All right. Into our next match here. And I'm having fun playing with this deck. I will say there's a bit of a learning curve, like as there are to every deck. And this deck isn't as intuitive to play as some larger beatdown decks, but it's a really good deck. So like I really implore you to give it a try. It will make you a better player. I promise you. I need to make sure I'm scared about like a magic archer. Yeah, I'm going to go Berry Tower here. I don't really have a great counter for that other than the Berry Tower. Miner of my own here. Maybe to force out something. Little Prince. Okay. Fine with me. So it looks like he's running Miner Control with Little Prince. Apparently. We're going to Spear Goblin down low in case he pops the ability. And then immediately go for the Knight. Keep our Spear Goblins healthy. If you play your Spear Goblins high there, they get like no value. So that's the reason we go for that. Maybe we'll force out a bomb tower. Nope, log instead. Wall breakers, which will then probably force out a berry tower. There they are. And then we're just going to chill here. I'll take a poison on that because we are up a little bit of elixir. Now we are no longer up elixir. But that's fine. He goes for that, so we're going to go for this. Unfortunate timing. I didn't expect him to preemptively go for the poison, so. You should force out a log on the left side. Okay. You might go for wall breakers behind this, so we'll have our berry tower ready if we do need to play it. Instead, we're going to go for our last second knight. We also have Evo Bats in hand as well. Now that we know that they have the poison, we want to be kind of careful with how we play our cards. I missed the little prince there. The poison, I think, came down late. No, it came down in time, so well played to our opponent. They're going to have a really nasty counter push, but it's all going to the opposite lane, so it really doesn't matter. We can kite back their knight with wall breakers. Okay. We're going to go like this, kite everything back. And that was a pretty clean defense, all things considered, honestly. Poison here. Split lane pressure is really, really good. We're going to go knight bats, so he has to play something on the left lane. Otherwise, that's going to take almost their entire tower. And we do. We get tons of damage there. He's going to go for a poison, most likely. Yep, no surprise. We're going to kite this back with wall breakers. And then hopefully get a well-timed log onto the little prince. And it is well-timed. I'm going to go like this. I think he's going to poison, yep, so I'm going to pressure instead. And then I'm going to go for my EVO Knight to redirect it. And yeah, I think he bit off a little more than he could chew there. When you go for naked minor poisons like that, it's just not a good play. Like, unless you're in triple elixir, you can't just go minor poison on a nothing, and we proved that. So good game to our opponent. We'll catch you in the next one. Into our next game here against Lufa. And I feel like that last game goes to show why people are, like, annoyed oftentimes with minor poison. Because people feel like they just go for minor poison, and you can't do anything about it. And at certain arenas, it probably feels like that, but in reality, like, you should be able to punish them if they're going minor poisons super aggressively. Unless it is triple elixir, then it's a little harder. But I think we just proved that right there. I have a bomb tower if they go for wall breakers. Oh, I wasn't expecting him to have balloon, to be completely honest. Okay, we're gonna need some damage here. And hopefully we can give some damage back. Maybe no balloon hits, though, because he used a snowball. Yeah, no balloon hits is awesome, honestly. Wow, I'm not going to lie. If you told me that we were going to come out ahead of that interaction, I wouldn't have believed you. We're going to go like this. Nice. I play the miner in the back because then if he plays a troop like a knight, it pulls it back and then the Spear Goblins lock onto the tower. So that placement is very calculated. And now that's going in the opposite lane, so I don't really need to play anything on it if I don't want to. Okay. We're going to go like this, pull the knight back. And then even if he goes for a spell here, which he probably will, we have bats here. And even if he goes for arrows, the bats are going to DPS that down to a point where it's not really going to get damage anyway. I'm going to log here to reset the Little Prince fire rate. I think it's worth it. And then the bats are going to most likely get on the tower. He has to go for arrows, so we're going to go for wall breakers. And I expect these to take their tower. Now he has Evo Skeletons as a bailout. And 8 Evo Skeletons will get on your tower if you don't play anything. So we are not going to make that mistake. Oh, are we though? Okay, lovely. All right, we have to poison here. We almost just lost the game. All right, well, if we just defend for the rest of the game, we're going to be completely fine. Bomb tower here, knight to pull this back. Going to go for our bats. Once they play the spell, we're going to go for Spear Goblins away. There they are. And if he goes for arrows here, he just loses. Or snowball, I mean. Yep, because he... Nothing to defend, really. No, he gets away with it. Miner here in front. And that's going to take their tower. No big spell means I can cycle a bomb tower early, so that's what we're going to do. Bomb tower early. I'm going to preemptively poison here. Pull everything back. Maybe? Nah, we're good. Okay, low-key that guy put some pressure, some moves at the end of that game, but we didn't choke. We're fine. So well played to my guy. He's upset, but we'll go ahead and catch you in the next one. Into our next match here. My man has P.E.K.K.A as his banner. Does that mean anything? I don't know. He doesn't play anything. We're going to go for the wall breakers. Best starting move in the whole game. I'm going to continue to glaze the split wall breakers because they're so good. They always force out a positive elixir trade. And look, we're up 1 elixir. We're going to go for minor bats. Down 4 elixir. Now we're down 1 elixir. And now we're up 2 elixir. So, fine with me. And Knight can defend all of this pretty much. But then they go in for the hogs. So we're going to go spend a lot here. Make sure we don't take any damage. Bomb Tower is amazing against the Royal Hoggies. So, that's perfect. Split wall breakers again will most likely force out a lot of elixir. He preemptively plays the cannon. That's well played. Wasn't expecting them to do that, but it's all good. So Royal Hogs cycle, fine with me. We're gonna get ready to split our bats here. I'm gonna play the bats like this actually. Get ready if they go in with a hogs, but I think he has to defend. Yep. Oh. Good delivery by my opponent. Spear Goblins down low. And I think he might go for the cannon again, so I'm just going to chill. What does he play on the Knight? He opts to be aggressive. We're going to pressure while defending here with these wall breakers. Nice. And I'm really glad that we did that because that forced out the evolved skeletons on defense. And when you're playing against evolved skeletons, if they use them on defense, that's actually really, really good for you. Because then they're not using it to support a push. What people like to do with this deck is they'll split Royal Hogs and they'll put evolved skeletons behind it, and it's really hard to stop. So in the situation where we just forced out that elixir, I'm very, very happy with that interaction. I'm going to go naked Spear Goblins, hopefully force out a response, and we do. EVO Knight, we're going to mirror with our own EVO Knight respectively and get ready for a push of some sorts. He goes for the log, we're going to go for wall breakers. And then they don't have a good answer for bats. Like, they have delivery, but delivery only works on their side of the bridge. So, bats get so much value for us. Nice. That little prince is going to get taken care of because he has to defend the left lane. Otherwise, he probably would have gone for a delivery. Oh, little prince with 1 HP. It's all good, though. Again, bats, literally nothing he can play that would take my bats off the map. Other than a royal delivery, but like I said, that's only on their side of the bridge. We're going to take a poison here because he has to play something onto the miner. Beautiful. Bomb Tower is still surviving as well, so it's like he doesn't want to go in for hogs into a Bomb Tower. Spear Goblins early. DPS down this Knight. Okay, he's going to go in here, but guess what we have? Bomb Tower and a well-timed log. Little Prince ability I think is a little too aggressive, so I'm going to try and punish with wall breakers. Means the cannon is out of cycle. We have some split lane pressure down. Evo Bat is threatening the tower. And now we're going to get a lot of damage into that lane. And we're absolutely controlling the tempo right now. For a matchup that... Well, I think it's a good matchup for us. This is the push I was talking about, so we're going to wait here. I need to log that side. Yep. Okay, that is the most threatening push in the entire matchup tree for you. Is that push right there. And take the poison here. And we survived it. And then some. We're going to get some damage onto the tower. My man's going to go for an earthquake, but it's all good. It's all good. Bat's going to clean everything up. And at this point, we'd have to like choke a defense to lose the game. Nice. Well played, honestly. I'm just going to take a poison here and get ready to defend with my bomb tower. No little prince in hand means I can go for bats easily on defense. Nothing he can do about the bats at all. And in triple elixir, you can just spam minor poisons and they can't do anything about it. Like, genuinely. Yeah, tough matchup for my boy. If you hate losing to Royal Hogs, run this deck. So GG's. We'll catch you in the next one. Alright, into likely our last match of the video. We'll see. We've only lost 1 game so far. Probably not going to include it in the video. So, we'll see. Maybe we'll have two losses today. Nice. He goes for bats. Starting play as well. Might be running like a similar deck. Is this going to work? Cool. Okay, weird start, honestly, by him. To just, like, let all that go. Okay, looks like it could be hog. I'm going to have my bomb tower ready, and if it's not hog... Okay, that's actually fine with me, too. Yep, free king tower activation. Oh, and he just used his zap. So we're going to take this opportunity to be very aggressive because they don't have a zap in cycle. Yep. Awesome. And no zap means that they can't really do anything about the Spear Goblins either. So we're going to Spear Goblins like this. And have a baby little counter push. So weird deck. Some homemade deck. I don't know. But we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. We're just going to take a log here. King Tower going to help out a little bit. Ooh, okay, that was a little scary. I ain't going front. I thought that maybe those are going to connect. He'll probably zap on that side. And because he used his Firecracker on the opposite lane, he's going to lose his tower here, most likely. Nope. Okay, he goes for the arrows. Arrows bail him out. But now his bats pretty much are non-threatening to us. Wall breakers here. He goes for the wall breakers. He's trying to trade. Pretty bad mistake, honestly. He probably was assuming I didn't have enough elixir to defend, but we did not overextend in that situation. So I like the matchup tree so far. I'm not really threatened by too much in this matchup. Just maybe some cheesy arrows or maybe evolved wall breakers. But other than that, I'm not too concerned. We're going to go minor bats here. Even the Prince isn't too threatening, to be completely honest. Spear Goblin's high. Okay, I didn't know he had a Mega Knight, to be completely honest, but like I said, I'm still not too worried. Look at that poison go to work, dude. Poison is crazy. Gonna pull this down low. Our King Tower is gonna help out. Knight here. And we're golden. Yeah, so it was Mega Knight. My man only got to play his Mega Knight like one time, so. Doesn't have arrows in hand, which means that this is free. You can Mega Knight on it, but then what? Yeah, I can't even afford a Mega Knight. He was too aggressive. So that's a good game. If you struggle against those mid-ladder menace Mega Knight players, give this deck a try. GG's to our opponent, and we'll go ahead and catch you in the next one. That's going to do it for today's video. Here's the deck one more time in case you want to take a screenshot. Please give this deck a try, challenge yourself, learn something new, and I promise you'll become a better Clash player because of it. So that's a good one, and I'll go ahead and see you in another video real soon.